Today we are going to see the important topic in Unit 5, that is physiological effects of electricity. So the learning objective of today class is that here we are going to discuss about what are the different physiological effects which will carry out in our body when the current passed into the human body system. And also we will be discussing how do the body impedance and other current threshold will vary the shocks scenarios. And not only this, we will also analyze the different susceptibility parameters which affects the electrical injury severity. And followed by, we also discuss the different safety standards which need to be considered when we are designing medical device and other clinical environments. And finally, we have to be follow what are the certain risk assessment that we need to be carried out to ensure the safety in the clinical environments. So let me start with the design thinking approach of why this particular is needed here and what is the need to discuss this topic in today's class. So the empathy part of this topic is we know the usually most of the people are more vulnerable to the shock. If you see in the hospitals, whoever maybe the doctors, clinicians, or biomedical engineers, whoever be working, if there is no proper knowledge about how to handle the equipments or medical lines, I mean medical devices or the power lines, ultimately the people will get shocked, right? So the thing is that we should know why the shock is actually happening. What is the current limit? Okay, what because without current no device is going to work. If the device is not going to work, there won't be any proper diagnosing or proper treatment or and so on. So the thing is that medical device we need very much in the hospital. It is like a backbone of the hospitals. That medical device, without causing any harmful to the patient, it must to be worked on. So that is the reason here we have to be define the problem, how this physiologic, I mean how this shock is happening. What is the different physiological effects? What happen if a different current levels is get into the body? And what is the susceptibility parameters for this current? So these are the things that we are going to discuss in forthcoming slides. So let me discuss first what is the different current levels and its respective physiological effects. The current levels, if for example say 1 milliamperes, if it is passed into the body, that limit is called perception threshold. The reason is that the human will start to feel the sensation like tingling sensation. So they will slightly have a kind of shock feeling, but it will not lead to any worse case. So that type of level limit is called perception threshold. The second level is that let go current, that is a range of 10 to 20 milliampere. In this case, it will trigger the muscles to do involuntary contraction. So the people will not leave the grip. Okay, the patient will not leave the wire or what they are holding. Okay, that is the reason when in most of the film you might have seen when the people touch the any live wires, they will not able to take off from the wire. The reason is that it is holding the grip. That is the reason this current level is called let go current. Third one is called respiratory paralysis, and the last one is the ventricular fibrillation. The from name itself you can easily guess it, right? The respiratory paralysis is that the current the range of 25 to 50 milliampere, if it is passed into the body, it will make the breathing, it will make breathing to stop. So that breathing muscles will not able to contract, so it will get freeze. That is the reason the patient become paralyzed in the respiration. So it will happen once if we are not look into this case very serious. Immediately within few seconds, the oxygen supplement to the brain will goes down, and the patient will go to will be fatal. So that it is like kind of very dangerous. So that the level is 20 to 50 milliampere, so mostly it gives the respiratory paralysis. Last one is the ventricular fibrillation. We know that already our heart is very vulnerability to electrical shock. The reason is that the contraction relaxation, the pumping mechanism of heart is usually is running based on the its own electric potential activity. That is a conducting system of the heart. So, example, if the heart sends any terms of current at the T state, T wave, at the resting state before starting to the next pumping mechanism, if the current passed at the level, immediately the heart will be more vulnerable in that case, and it will start to contract irregularly, abruptly disturb the whole functionality of the heart. So that cases is called ventricular fibrillation, is very dangerous. The rhythm is very disturbed and it is not uniform, it irregular, it beat irregularly. So this condition is called ventricular fibrillation. Immediately we will go with a fibrillator kind of device to stop this fibrillation to make the rhythm properly. So these are the different physiological effects will happen when different current levels passing into the body. This is a very very important, and also a very important point to be noted is that the AC current best DC effects. The AC current is very dangerous because it is alternating current. It always tend to produce the involuntary contraction of muscles alternatively. So finally it will leads to very dangerous compared to the DC current. So we have to be very serious when we are using the AC current. So as I said before, the cardiac effects of electricity is that the reason why we are getting ventricular fibrillation, especially in the range of 100 to 200 milliampere, is that the heart at the T wave it is very vulnerable. T wave, if we are sending a current in that case in that state, it becomes more vulnerable. It will start to do uncontrolled contraction. Okay, so that will end up with the ventricular fibrillation. That is the thing I have noted in this slide. What are the other important susceptibility parameters, that is the important factors which influence the electrical injury severities? One is the current magnitude, the intensity of the current by what we are passing, and another one is the current pathway. It is very important. If the current pathway from head to hand to hand is very dangerous compared to the foot to foot. The reason is that from hand to hand anyway it passes through the heart, so whenever it passes through the heart, it is very dangerous compared to the in other pathway. So next one is a contact duration. Even if it is minute level of current is passing for the longer duration, it will lead to the dangerous condition. So the current duration is also another important parameters that we need to consider. Last one is the frequency. The frequency also it's very important. It is more dangerous if you are giving very high frequency. It will end up with a it will induce so many cardiac disruption and effects. So the body impedance also important parameter, because here the human body we are considering as a one conducting system, electrical conducting system, in that the skin offers a very good barriers. It resists the current flow. If the skin impedance is very low, it will allow more current. If it is high, it resists the more current. The skin impedance again is depend upon the sweat glands, like whether it's dry skin or oil skin or wet skin, depends upon the impedance level will change, and also it will affect it will limits the current accordingly. And also we have internal impedance in the contact area where it is contacting with bony area or muscle area. So and also we have to consider total body impedance also. So these are the things, the impedance is a very important role to avoid or to limit the current flow. So, what are the other way we can give the medical safety in the sense, to in order to avoid the high leakage current? We have a different standards like IEC 6060101 standards. Here they are clearly speaks about how we can reduce the leakage current, what is the limits, and what are the protection methods we can use it, like isolation, grounding, and insulation. These are three common protection methods we can avoid the leakage current, because the leakage current is a very serious case. We have to ensure within the limit, or else it will leads to the shock. So we have the three different types of leakage current: earth leakage, touch leakage, and the patient leakage. So this is the small student activity that I have here. I have put here. It's a kind of debate topic, which parameter is very important and why it is so important. Example, current magnitude or current pathway. The team A will be discuss about current. Will going to have debate on current magnitude, and team B will going to debate on current pathway. So it will be going to be interesting when we are have this debate topic in the class. And further, I have posted here few gate industry questions. And finally, the mind map of this particular topic I have given here, like right from first to end of the slide. What are the things that I have covered so far? Like what is physiological effects of LDC? What are the different current levels and the frequency levels? What are the susceptibility parameters? And what are the safety standards we have to consider? How do the body impedance limits the current, how it differs from patient to patient, what is the cardiac effects of physiological effects, and so on. So finally, these are the reference. Thank you.